Hello and welcome to the Observe Conversations channel. I'm VR Sampath, retired IPS, aka Sampath Ramanujan MFA. For more details, click the link below. Please subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you. Let's get into the topic for the day. Attention, knowledge, belief, and action. In this episode, we will see how attention is the only tool we have to know and experience life. The doctrines available to humankind are only points of view or darshanas. No one knew or knows for sure as to what is the purpose or meaning of life. Philosophies are basically derived by individuals in the present or past based on these darshanas. Psychology is a derivative of one philosophy or another. Every soul is on its own when it comes to unraveling the mystery of life. There are many doctrines and philosophies which demand attention. It's evident that attention is one important tool a human possesses. We say pay attention. Yes, attention is the currency we pay to get experience. Knowing is experiencing. It is so vital that many factors vie with each other to grab it. Just like products being sold by advertising. They all try to grab your eyeball for profit. It's claimed it's for your benefit, whether it is sensual satisfaction or salvation. While attention outward brings sensations through senses, attention turned inward brings perceptions. Meditation is turning attention inward towards mind, thoughts, feelings, etc. Yoga is yoking or connecting the body and mind. It's clear that attention needs to distinguish between body, mind, and the world. A common error is to consider we are the body as well as the mind put together called the I. This identification should be replaced with recognition of them as different tools for knowing. In addition to attention, another major demand is on your belief or faith. You need to believe it once you pay attention to it. The third aspect is to act on it once you pay attention and believe in it. The circle is then complete. So, it's all about attention, knowledge, belief, and action. While belief comes from mind, action is body's domain. Attention doesn't come from body or mind. It comes from self. So, the outcome of knowing and experiencing goes direct to our self, not to our body or mind. Body is inert. It cannot experience. Mind doesn't experience. It can only analyze the experience and store it in memory. But self knows experience. Now, let's move to another point of view. Why do we pay attention to, believe in, and act upon certain things and not certain other things, right? Do we have the freedom to choose what we pay attention to what we believe in, and what we act upon? According to one point of view, we may have a deciding factor completely out of our control called karma, which decides what we pay attention to, what we believe in, and what we act upon. In fact, according to this view, karma decides our life. Karma uses planetary influences to execute what it decides for the individual. Vasanas act in such a way that you pay attention to this and not that, believe in this and not that, and act in a particular way and not any other way, to get only one set of results and not any other. Reincarnation theory is an offshoot of the theory of karma. If we believe in karma, then there is no further discussion. It's over. Our life is finished. It is the default course of action decided for you since you failed to take responsibility for your life. If we remove this karma factor, do we have the tools to decide precisely as to what we pay attention to, what we believe in, or how do we act? All that we have are a body with its organs, senses, brain, and memory, and other work tools like hands and legs. A mind with thoughts and perceptions, and a psychology to process what these factors rake up. Knowing might possess the power to replace or overturn karma. When we look around, we find the first and the foremost is the absolute necessity to stay alive. The senses may dictate that this should be done at any cost or by any means. The necessities of food, shelter, and care. If you look more, we may have to consider the society before we set out to do it all our own way. We are not alone on this planet. And chaos would result if 7 billion people set out to do everything only for themselves. In fact, not only society, but also the world, the planet, and the cosmos need to be considered. If we are observant enough, we may notice that we have a tendency to go beyond necessities to wants and excesses, overconsumption and waste, like power, money, sex, or possessions. Now we see clearly why the doctrines and darshanas came into existence in the first place. To enable us to live in the society harmoniously and without causing disturbances, so that we all stay alive and live our lives. Also to provide a direction and purpose and meaning to our lives, what otherwise become pointless existence. What if, hypothetically speaking, we achieve the goal of making this world peaceful and contribute to the happiness of other individuals? What life would consist of then? What would be the meaning of life then? We may not agree that this is possible to achieve, though it is our common aim. Hence, does life mean only struggle for peace, truth, beauty, or happiness? After all, these are supposed to be our ultimate aim, and once achieved, there is nothing beyond. But religion says, wait a minute, this appears to be the point of atheists. What about God? It is He who created this universe and the lives in it, including ours. And we have a responsibility towards Him. What is this responsibility towards Him or her, the God? To respect and act according to His laws, and in the end either attain to Him or reach our final destination, whatever that might mean. To celebrate Him and His attributes, so He grants mukti or moksha. Who knows what these laws are and who interprets them for the rest of us? The darshanas and the priests and the gurus. Here we have come a full circle trying to figure out what is going on. Let us recapitulate. Let us go back to our original question of attention, belief, and action. What is the purpose of attention in the first place? To know, to experience. Knowledge is the original action we are all equipped for, and experience is the outcome. Faith and action originate in thought after we have knowledge at our disposal. If we had faith before knowledge, then it will influence the way knowledge is gathered and interpreted and ultimately acted upon. But we may need knowledge to figure out how and where to train our attention. Hence, knowing and experiencing appear to be the primordial purposes of our existence. Knowing is the only action. The tools and rules of knowing are secondary. And all doctrines, philosophies, karma and regulation, rules and regulations, society and its demands, nature and its rule, science and religion, and whatever else you can think of, contribute to and result from knowing. The question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge or knowing or experiencing? We don't know. Or we may utilize our knowing for accumulating more matter like money. If we accept karma, one possible explanation is that we require knowledge to deal appropriately with our predispositions from birth called vasanas, or to break our conditioning and refuse to allow it to crystallize. But what is in our hands is to fine-tune this process of knowing to upgrade our knowing either through intuition, which is said to be the means of knowing internally and directly, or figure out from what is available by way of the vast storehouse of humanity's experiences for thousands of years. Intuition is unreliable and at best subjective. The experiences of the past humanity are responsible for thoughts to appear. It is the common pool of thoughts from which individual brains get them. One belief says there is only one life. Another promises an afterlife. The third one says if you do this, this and this, you are assured of a place in heaven, and if not, you go to hell. But the best religion is one which helps in knowledge and knowing, the primordial action for which we are equipped with attention. In other words, with the help of attention, create a religion of knowledge and knowing. If we take into consideration only this aim of life, we may take help from existing concepts which explain the process clearly. The concepts are darshanas, dualism, non-dualism, or qualified monism. Bhagavad Gita identifies three yogas, karma, jnana, and bhakti, to know the ultimate truth or God. It suggests that bhakti yoga is the best way to attain the goal. Bhakti, jnana, and karma are modes of upgrading oneself, while dual, non-dual, and qualified non-dual are stages of life. Dualism says everything is dual in nature. Matter and mind, body and mind, Jivatma and Paramatma and everything else. They can never come together. Non-dualism says exactly the opposite, that all are one and there is nothing beyond one big self. Qualified monism accepts all are one, but Jivatma is of Paramatma but not one with it. In the process of knowing, knowledge and understanding, we may try out karma, jnana and bhakti yogas to see whether they lead to intuitively knowing greater things such as gods, devas, different worlds, different modes of existence, etc. This process may take all our lives, and still the chances are that we may or may not get that intuitive knowledge. Or alternatively, we may treat Dvaitam, Advaitam and Visishtadvaitam as stages of one's life. Dvaitam or dualism teaches you to explore the material world around us. The Advaitam or monism teaches you to explore yourself, and Visishtadvaitam to explore both the world and God. The first one is about our relationship with the material world. The second one is about our relationship with ourselves. And the third one is about our relationship with God and the world, which is a reconciliation of both. It makes sense to make these three doctrines as stages of life in an individual, where you start with exploring and knowing the world, then move on to exploring yourself, to know yourself, and finally explore and know your relationship with both the world and God. Instead, humanity classifies itself as followers of this or that doctrine, only one aspect all their life, only one darshana instead of all the three in their lifetime. Religions have unique interpretations of these doctrines and attach rituals and priests to this mix. They ensure that these darshanas are not mixed so that they have their following intact. To upgrade oneself makes sense too. You have to become a human being of understanding, which is a finer grade of knowledge. To become a man of understanding, you need to work for long, thrive and experience all the three, matter, man and God, and their relationship with one another. To upgrade means sharpening the tools of knowing, attention, belief and action. Attention grows into concentration and ultimately into meditation. Thoughts lead to concepts and contemplation to belief. Willpower develops into concrete action. The problems of the world largely consist of treating maintenance of the tools of knowledge, such as body, mind and attention, as the end and not the means. To understand that these are only tools and their maintenance is not the ultimate aim of life is called consciousness. And consciousness is the ultimate aim of life, which is nothing but knowing and experiencing. To achieve this aim, we need to upgrade. What about changing times, changing values and concepts? Here come physics and metaphysics. Physics is concerned with matter and changes which occur in it. Metaphysics is something which cannot be explained by physics and is changeless. Hence, the ultimate aim of knowing and experiencing could be to develop a perception for the beyond, the changeless and the eternal. You may call it God or consciousness, it doesn't matter. So, to graduate from the finite to the infinite, from change to changeless, and from known to the unknown, we need to upgrade ourselves. Eternal attention is the key. Thank you.